Hello everyone, it's Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie. How are you? I hope you are all having a fantastic Sunday. Sorry, I gotta flip my iPad around here so we can log on so I can see everything that is happening. I hope you're having a great day. So far so good here. I want to use the Coming Home bundle today, as well as these brand new rectangle tins that we have in the mini catalog. So I just wanted to show you, when you order them, you get 4 in a package and they all come wrapped in a little plastic bag. So they're, hi Maria, how are you? Thank you for joining. So they're all wrapped up and you know, they're just adorable little tins. So we are going to make a cute little gift card holder slash mini album today using these. I saw the idea from another demonstrator and I forgot to write her name down, so I will put her name in the post when I'm finished so you all can will know who I got the inspiration from. So we're not going to be doing a ton of stamping today, but I did already use the tree and stamped out some little trees and die cut them, and then we're going to stamp the little car and color it and fussy cut it out because I'm not going to die cut it. I figure, you know what, it's just as easy for me to fussy cut it out as it is to die cut it. So I've just opened up my computer over here. I need to share. There we go. Just want to share it to a couple of my groups, my Stampin' with Valerie VIP and my Stampin' with Valerie classes, so they can watch as well live. But we're gonna have so much fun making this. I can't wait to do this. Super excited. All right, let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do, and I've already done the measurements, but we're gonna start by cutting some Whisper White thick for our mini album that's going on the inside. So you wanna cut it at, I've got all my measurements here and they're flying all over the place. 2 3/8, 2 1/4, there's 2 3/8. Is that what I want, 2 3/8? No. No, that's not what I want. Those are for my smaller pieces, Durr. Okay, it's gonna be a 9.5 inches long by 3 3/16, or 13/16. Actually, let's do 3 3/4. We're going to change that to 3 3/4 because it was a little hard to get in and out of the tin when I did it at 13/16. So we're going to do 3 3/4, and then we're going to do I got so much stuff on my desk, by 9.5. So I don't know if you can see my 9.5 over there. I had ribbon falling all over. And then we're going to do some scoring. So we are going to score it at 2 3/8. Make sure you use your lighter colored scoring blade. And then I have to go to this other end, and I'm going to move it right here so you can see better. 2 3/8. Then we're going to do 4 3/4. And then we're going to do 7 1/8. And now after I scored earlier, one of my little I think it was this final page was just a little bit longer, so let's fold it. We're going to fold just so they're kind of, oh no, worked out perfect. I must have just scored it wrong last time. So we're just going to fold it so it's like a little accordion album that you can pull apart or pull open. Grab a corner rounder. So if you have a corner rounder, you're going to need a corner rounder for sure, or if you can do it with your scissors or your snips, that's fine. I just did all of the outside edges first, and then our corner rounder will punch through this Whisper White thick 2 layers, and I was really impressed by that because I was worried. I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing all of those by hand, and then it ended up, no, this will work perfectly. Now, if you're like me, you're going to have little pieces of paper all over the place when you do this, so be prepared to sweep when you're done, but it's going to be so cute when we get it done. And that's for our little mini album on the inside. Get all those little pieces out of the way. And you'll see when we open up our tin, that's gonna go on this side, on the right-hand side. See how it fits right in? And we're gonna put some ribbon around it so it'll be easier for the recipient to pull it out. Otherwise, it just gets a little too hard to get out of there. Then I took, I'm gonna show you everything I have right here. I just have one of my full width stamping cases, and I cut out some pieces. So for your front lid, your piece is going to be a little bit bigger. It is going to be 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And then you're going to have for your inside lid another piece, because this is a little bit bigger than this side. So you need a piece that's just a little bit bigger. And that piece is 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. And then all of our little pieces that we're gonna stick in our album, which I've got plenty here, I've got more than enough, are all going to be 2 3/8. 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, because they're gonna be about the same height, but just a little bit skinnier. But I have a bunch of pieces that we're gonna use to decorate with. We're gonna put a little house on the front, so it's gonna be fun. All right, so let's start with our lid. We might as well do the lid first. And I'm gonna use this side with the trees because I think it's super adorable. And I figure the best adhesive to use for this would be the Tear and Tape. So I'm just gonna go along the edge, all 4 edges of this with Tear and Tape. And what I like to do is go down 2 sides first. And then peel back just a little bit of it on each end. Then you can take your other piece of Tear and Tape and it'll be stuck right to that first piece of Tear and Tape, you know, those first 2 little pieces. And then you can go put them across. And then we'll stick it directly to the front of our lid. Now, I will say when I did this piece for the lid, it's not, when you use the corner rounder, it's not exactly the same amount of rounded as this is. This is a little more rounded than what our corner rounder does. So you have the option after you stick it on, I wouldn't do it until after it's already stuck on, to go with your paper snips around the edges if you want. I'm not really worried about that. I don't think it looks bad. You just have a little bit of extra paper there. But this is not something anyone's going to be playing with, so it's really not that big of a deal if you have a little bit of extra, like around the edge here. So you can see, you could snip around that if you want to, but it's up to you. I'm not going to snip around it right now. I might do it later, but right now I'm just going to leave it just like that. Hi Sharon, how are you? Thanks for joining. Now, because this is such a fun little project, and because I wanted to add some extra things to this, we're going to use some punches today. So this is our Label Me Lovely punch. I'm just going to punch out a piece of Old Olive. That's going to go for the front of this. And I'm going to probably adhere this flat. So for everything other than what I'm sticking to the metal tin, I am just going to use some Stampin' Seal Plus, because it's a little bit quicker than using the Tear and Tape for everything. And then I've got a couple little houses cut out here, and I thought we would just make a little scene with them for the front because I thought it would be adorable. And I love having that, just a little bit of green poking out in the back. Maybe I don't want quite that big of a house. Let's see what we have. I don't know if I have one of the super skinny ones here or not. I don't think I do. I think I used them for something else. So I guess we will use this one. It'll be all right. We'll just put it up a little higher. We'll put this one here. I'm definitely going to use some dimensionals on these because you know how much I love using my dimensionals. Makes me happy when everything is popped up. So have any of you used these rectangle tins yet for anything? This is my first time, but I bought them because I wanted some little gift card holders, but I wanted to make them special so it would be something that the recipient can keep. This is not, you know, just a cheap little gift card holder from Walmart or Target or wherever that they're just going to throw away when they're done with it. That's why I wanted to use it, because I wanted to make something that they can keep forever. So I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals on this left-hand side, and then I'll put a little bit of adhesive there because that's going to stick to this other house. How cute is that? And then here's one of those trees that I told you I stamped, and I colored them in with Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use mini dimensionals on the trees. We'll get them stuck on there. And you can see this was a scrap piece of paper that I just used that I had stamped on the back, and I didn't like what I had done, so I just stamped on the other side. That's the most wonderful thing about stamping. You can always use the other side. I don't want that up quite that far. Let's just put some adhesive on there because that's going to stick to the house. So we got one little tree. You can add one of these smaller trees. We really only need one dimensional for that. We're going to put that other tree up here. Let me see if I have another small one. Yeah, perfect. We have another small one over here. I have lots of little small ones. You can tell the day I was die cutting, I was just like, just die cut it all because I'm going to use it eventually, right? Add a little tree here. And then this tiny little wreath was some of the designer series paper. So I didn't stamp it, but what I did was I took a little 1/2-inch circle punch, one of our tiniest punches that we used to have. I don't know if we still have that. I don't think we have the 1/2-inch anymore. So if you have a 1/2-inch punch, it will work perfect for these little wreaths, because I thought the little wreath needed to be on that bigger house. But now, if you already have the Coming Home bundle, you already have the wreath stamp and the die, so you can also do it that way. It's a little bit bigger than this wreath. I'm just going to put that wreath right in between all 4 windows there. I think that's good for now. We'll put some embellishments on it later, but we're going to just leave that front like that. Let's open it up. We'll get started on the inside. This is one of my favorite parts, is working on this little album and then the inside cover. So here's our album. I'm going to just put these over to the side a little bit so they are out of the way, and we can get started on our album. Let me give these all a really good crease with the bone folder, just so they will stay closed a little better while we're working. Set our tin over here just so it's out of the way so we can use some of these pieces over here. So I took that big, large piece of paper, the one that is in the front of, let me see, I have another packet of it. It's like in the front of that Trimming the Town Designer Series paper that has that whole little scene. And I just cut out some little parts that I liked, the little scenes on them. So I really love this one where they're all skating. So I wanted to add that in there. This is for our inside cover. I loved that little scene. And so for this one, let's just get started with our front little piece. And let's go ahead and put the little town, all the little houses there. Thank you, Sharon and Maria. I appreciate that. I figured this is something that your recipient can use for memory keeping. They can add in what was their Christmas list this year or something like that. I think would be adorable. So we'll just put the little town on the front. And on this inside piece, I want to make this kind of a little spot where they can do some of that journaling. So I'm just going to take some of my Stampin' Write markers. Hi Brenda, hi Sophie, thanks for joining. And I'm going to kind of just frame around this, just kind of doodling. So I'm just going to doodle around the corners and make some semi-straight lines. They're not really straight, but they're kind of straight. It's my own version of straight. And then the recipient can put whatever they want on there. They could write the year on there if they want to. You could even write the year on for them. I'm gonna put some little dots here because I love little dots. Just to fancy it up a little bit more. Now, you could leave that plain if you want to. You don't have to decorate it at all, but I kind of like the way it looks with something on there. All right, let's put all of our little Christmas words that are in French and German and English. We'll use that for this page. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to make a little pocket because I wanted to add some little tags in here. Now, that is another thing. They could put photos in here. They would have to be small photos, but you know we all have things that we can print, and you can print them tiny and big and small and whatever you want. So let's take a piece of this, and I'm just going to take my trimmer and I'm just going to cut it at, like, let's say 1.5 inches. That should work. And then we'll use some Tombow glue just around the edges. Oh, I don't know if I want to use the little people. What do you all think? The little people or the green and white diagonal stripe? Because we're going to put a little tag in there. Probably a real red tag, I think, is what we'll use for this. We'll put a little real red tag coming out of there. I kind of like the little people. I think I'm going to put the little people. Just go around the edge. Just a real thin strip of glue. You don't have to use a lot. You don't want a lot because you don't want it coming, you know, your glue squishing all over. Set a block on it so it can hold it down for a minute and dry. And then grab, I'm going to use the brand new Essential Tag Punch. I think it's super cute. We're going to cut a little red tag. It has been so long since I have made like a little album like this that I'm like super excited about this. Grab a hole punch, just punch a little hole in the top. I'm going to use some of this Old Olive All the Trimmings ribbon. I'm just going to thread this through the top. Oh, Brenda, I'm sorry, I chose before I saw your green and white. We'll use green and white for our next pocket because we've got extra left. And then just trim the top of that off. If you can get your scissors to go on one at a time. Then you can put your little tag in there. So you've got your first little tag. How cute is that? Then we'll open it up and we're going to do our next page. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. I'm having fun making this. I was really excited about doing this. Let's do, we did the little town on the front already, so let's do the little snowflakes. And hopefully I have enough, I should have enough for the back as well. Because we're going to leave some of those for journaling or photos anyway, so we don't have to put this on every one. Or put designer series paper on every one is what I'm trying to say, and it's not coming out. And I think for this one, we can just decorate it a little bit maybe. We could add, I love this little snowman guy and the two little kids working on the snowman. So I just saved this piece of paper and I thought I would punch it out with the 1.5 inch circle punch. And then we are going to definitely do some sponging. And I think I'm going to go around the edge of this one with Coastal Cabana. I chose 3 colors to use today. Coastal Cabana, Old Olive, and Real Red. I thought we could just sponge around it to give it a little bit of extra color. And I'm just using our little sponge daubers today. I'm going to go back around it again just to make sure it's nice and dark. How pretty is that? That is adorable. Oh, I'm just going to compliment myself and say that's adorable. I like it. All right, let's grab those dimensionals that I just had. Here's my mini ones, but where's my regular size ones? Oh, they're underneath my whole bucket of stuff here. All right, we'll grab those. I'm just going to put one in the center. I don't think we need a bunch on here. And then we'll go ahead and put this little guy at the top. And then they have room to put a little picture or something that they want there. Then I think for this page, I want to stamp that little car because I do want to stamp him and fussy cut him out. So I will stamp it in Memento. Let that dry for a second. I think I had a lot, I re-inked it earlier and I have a lot more ink on that one side than I need. So you can see how it gobbed up on my punch or my stamp there. All right, so before I cut it out, we're gonna color it in and I think we'll make it real red. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Stampin' Write markers today for this. I think I need to let it dry just a little bit more. While we're doing that, let's find a little tree because I want to have a little tree on the top of our car. I have another one that's already punched out, so we can use that one. Perfect. And then we'll color in this cute little bug. Now, I didn't want to use the alcohol markers because I do not know if they are safe for photo albums. And since I want this to be something that they could put Christmas photos in if they want to, I decided I would use the Stampin' Write markers because they are okay to use with photo albums. They are archival safe because they're water-based ink. And that way you don't ruin any photos. Then I'm just going to use Coastal Cabana for the windows. Which Pool Party probably would have been the better choice, but that's all right. It's still cute. And then I'm just going to fussy cut it out. And once I get it fussy cut out, I think I'm going to show you a little trick that I do, especially when you're cutting something that has a white border on it. If you don't want that white border, how to get rid of that. Look, I started coloring the bumper and all I did was put a dot in it. I need to recolor that bumper. It's just like white with a little red dot in the middle. Hi Lois, how are you? Thanks for joining. All right, let's color that little bumper in now that I noticed I didn't get it quite colored in. And then when you are fussy cutting and you have white, but you've stamped with black, and you have a little bit of a white edge, just take that edge of your black marker and go around it, and it will fill in all that little white that you didn't want to show where you were fussy cutting. Just kind of go around the edge. Perfect. All right, I'm going to put a dimensional on the back and then probably a mini dimensional right at the front of my little car. Then we're going to put that little tree on the top. Ooh, but before I stick it on here, let's go around and do our edge again. And this time, instead of using red, we'll use the Coastal Cabana just for something different. We want the writing side. And I'm just going to do this side a little bit different. I'm just going to go down. I'm going to put some little dots. Go down, put some little dots around the corner. Just make it decorative, however you want to do it. This is Easiest for me is just to add little squiggles or dots or something in there. Then it kind of looks like, you know how when you buy something in the store and it's got some little decorative around the edge, they've always got, it's never completely straight, it's just kind of decorative. And right there's our little car. I can't even pick up my little tree. I am a wreck today, people. Just a wreck. All right, I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of glue, and I'm not even gonna do it on the tree. I'm just gonna do it on this little top edge of the car, so I know that the glue is gonna be in the right place. And then we're just gonna put our little tree there. We've got that one dimensional to hold it, but that little tree, how cute. Now, I also thought with the stamp set, this little chimney smoke would be cute if it was stamped, and I'm gonna do it in Coastal Cabana because that's just fun. It's coming out as the exhaust from the car because it looks like he's going fast. I love that. I know. It's the little things in life that make me happy, ladies and gentlemen. Little things in life. All right, so there's one side. Let's flip it over, and we already have our little front. So this one will be probably another journaling side, and we'll do this one in Old Olive and this one we are just gonna make squiggly all the way around. And like I said, your recipient or you, if you want to write, I'm probably going to write the year in here, like 2020, and maybe put at the top of one of these my wish list or something along those lines. So we have mountains, we have people and the green, which I want to use some of this for a pocket on this side, so let's not forget to use that. Kind of like the red and white polka dots, maybe with a pocket, with the green pocket, and we'll cut that down a little bit. Oh, and then I still have the cute little skating scene as well that we can add in. That's what we'll do. We'll do those two. We'll make a pocket, and we'll make another tag. So who's ready to go buy some of these tins now and make something like this as a gift? Because this is not just a gift card holder, but they've got a little mini album with it, which I think is fantastic. I'm just going to cut right down here on my lap. I'm going to cut this one at 1.5 inches again, the same size that we did the other cute little pocket. And we'll do the same. We'll go around with our little tiny bit of glue. Yay, Maria, I'm glad you're gonna buy some. They're so adorable. You will love them. You will love them. I'm gonna put that block back on there just to hold them down. And we'll put some adhesive around this side. All of these sides are super cute. You know what? Let's go around this with some Coastal Cabana too. Let's give it a little bit of a frame with that Coastal Cabana. I guess I could have done this with all of my little pieces, right? I mean, that really was what was in my brain when I started, but obviously it's not what I did. I just got so excited with putting everything together that I just started going. But luckily I have more tins, so I can make more of these as gifts and I can perfect it as I go along, right? Now also, we could go around when you're done and you could just go around all of the edges and do those as well. All right, so for this one, I don't know if we want to do coastal, real red, maybe even just a Whisper White tag would be cute. Let's do a Whisper White tag. We've got some more Whisper White here. We'll do a thick one. And then I think we'll add something to that little tag too. Let's add some little, let's use this. See how easy this is? We're just gonna stick a little piece of this in here. We're gonna punch it out. We're gonna glue that to the top of our tag. So it gives it a little bit, I know it's gonna kind of blend in with our real red that we already have there, but I thought it was cute just to put something at the top of the tag. And then I'll probably use, since this is, again, red, we'll use that green ribbon again. Not quite dry, but we're gonna punch it and hopefully it'll be all right. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Just cut a little piece of ribbon. I never, you know me, I never measure. Just cut what you want. It's always better to have a little bit more than not enough. So that's why I always end up with more than I need. But it all works out in the end. I had glue on my finger and I keep sticking it on this tag, so I need to grab a wipe real quick because I am just gonna make a mess out of this if I don't. There we go, much better. Don't feel sticky anymore. Just thread them through, pull it up, trim it again. I always like to make one a little bit longer than the other, or I try to anyway. Look at, you can see those little glue spots on there. Got them. Let's do this. Let's write on this, let's write 2020 gift list or 2020 wish list. 2020. Now, obviously this isn't a very big tag, so they can put their most wanted items of 2020 on here. And I just like to put little dots on my letters because it makes it just kind of whimsical looking. I'm going to hold that up just so you can see that a little bit better. Stick that tag in our pocket. Cute. Now, if we wanted to, just because this is kind of blending in right now, let's take this Label Me Lovely punch again, and let's grab a piece of paper that has something different on the back. I'm going through all my scraps over here that I have all my scissors and everything laying on, trying to find something that we could use behind that. And it's this piece of paper right here that I'm looking for. Nope, it's not that piece of paper. Oh my goodness, seriously. We have a blue stripe and all I can see is a little tiny piece of it, and that's, I want a bigger piece. But I have to find the piece that has all the houses on it. That's, it's not popping out. All right, we are opening a new pack because I am not fighting with those little pieces over there. All right, let's open a new pack. We'll grab that paper. It seriously has to be right here. There it is. It's this piece that has all of the houses on it, and if you cut toward the bottom, there's less houses. We might just get, you know, a little piece of one, obviously, but we're gonna add that. We're just gonna glue that on there just to give it a little bit something different. I say glue and I'm using this, but you know what I'm saying. We're sticking it in there just to make it a little bit different. And then when we get this in there, then we can work on our, there, that adds just a little something to that page. Perfect. Look at that. That's so cute. I feel like I need something else on the front here. And I do have all these other little houses, so we could put a little, what color did we put on the front? We did Coastal Cabana and the navy blue. So maybe we could just do one of these little red houses here. We'll put some dimensionals on them or on it. And then I need to, we're gonna have to add some ribbon so it'll be easier for everyone to pull their little album out. We'll put our little house. We'll add another one of those trees because we've got lots of trees. If I can, have no fingernails, ladies and gentlemen, 0. So as always, it's hard for me to grab little pieces of paper. We can add, let's put a big dimensional on the bottom of each of these and then figure out how we're gonna put them on here. Yeah, let's put that one directly like right up on the house, I think. So we'll use another mini dimensional because we don't want anything hanging over the edge because it'll make it hard to pull out of the tin. And then this little tree will have going toward the bottom a little bit. So we'll put a little bit of adhesive at the top, keep that dimensional there. Just kind of stick it a little bit lower. Adorable. All right, so now we have our little scene here. That's our back page. So let's take a piece of Terran tape. I think that'll work best for the ribbon. Let's just go kind of right across the middle here, kind of where that snow divides in the pond. And it's not exactly the middle, but close. It's pretty close. We're going to need some ribbon that's a little bit wider. So let's grab a piece of the red striped ribbon, or red with the gold stripe ribbon. And then we'll add a piece of the green as well. So we'll have like a double ribbon tie. Again, I'm not measuring, I'm just sticking, and we'll tie it when we pull it around. And if we have too much, we'll just cut a little bit off. We're just gonna double tie it. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's gonna look super cute regardless. If you can make a bow, that might help. Right, so I'm just going to cut some of these little pieces off, and we can use some of these. I can use some of these for tags later. Now this is not going to get stuck in, so all we have to do is just finagle it in. And then they can use that ribbon to pull it out. So that'll make it easier to pull it out. Maybe we'll make the loops a little bit bigger so there's less tail hanging out there. So we've got that. And now this little piece that we stuck in here, I gotta get out. And we're gonna put a piece of ribbon around the back of this as well. But this time, I just want one piece of ribbon. So I'm gonna take this and cut it down the center, which is not going to be easy, but we're going to give it a shot. Maybe if I would have used a bigger pair of scissors to start with, that would help because I can cut further. Y'all got to call me out on this and, you know, be like, really, Valerie? Come on. Use something a little bit longer than those tiny scissors. There is no shame in my game, but let me know when I'm messing up. All right, I'm gonna pull that off. I'm gonna use some of the green ribbon for this one. Green's my favorite color, so I just am drawn to the green ribbon. This is definitely plenty. And then we're gonna take some more of that Terran tape because this piece is going to be stuck down. We are going to stick this down, but I wanted to get that ribbon on there first, so then it's got that little strip holding it, plus these pieces on the side will hold it down. And then I'll do the same thing I did with the other piece and just peel this up, kind of like I did with that piece that we stuck on the front. Just peel this up. go down those edges. So I know it's November now, but obviously yesterday was Halloween. Who had trick-or-treaters? I had 0. We live down a dead-end road. I mean, it's a cul-de-sac, but obviously it's a dead end. And no one on my street ever turns their lights on for Halloween. Even before COVID. This is just, these people are just, apparently don't like Halloween. I don't know. But I always have my light on. I'm always ready for trick-or-treaters. And yesterday I even went so far as to just do definitely social distancing trick-or-treating. And look at that, how cute. Okay, so my idea for this inside, Brenda, you had one. Okay, you had more than me. I made up, because I knew we had, like last year I had 2. But I'm always hopeful, like, well, maybe someone new moved in around the area and they don't know the streets and they're going to come down here anyway and see my light on and they'll come trick-or-treating, right? So I made up 15 little trick-or-treat bags, and I didn't do anything fancy. I used Ziploc bags and put my little treats in there and had them out. I put them on, I put a TV tray outside and I put them in a basket, you know, kind of take one kind of thing. No one came. So I had to empty all my bags out this morning. It was a little sad. So my idea for this on the inside is to put your gift card in there and tie it in with a little bow. If you can tie. And it's not easy trying to tie inside the lid, but I figured, you know what? We're going to give it a shot anyway. Hi, Anne. Thanks for joining. How are you? So that's not perfect. Maybe I was going to say, maybe I should make a little pocket in there. But I'm not sure how easy it would be to slide this into a pocket. But let's try. Let's see what we got. We're going to have to cut a piece a little bit wider because I don't have any pieces that are that wide, which is, let me see where my measurement is. So for the inside lid, your piece is 2.5 inches wide by 3 3/4. So we need a 2.5 inch wide piece. I appreciate you joining, Anne. So I'm going to go for 2.5 inches wide. And then I'm just going to cut it. I'm only going to do 1 1/4 instead of 1 1/2 like I did for the other pockets. I'll just do 1 1/4 and we'll see how that works. Maybe I had 10. Oh, I would have been so excited for 10 trick-or-treaters because like literally we have none. Like I told my husband this morning, I'm like, our street is so lame. Like nobody wants to join in on the holiday fun of trick-or-treating. And I get it with COVID this year for sure. Some people are really leery, but I'm like, the kids are always wearing masks anyway, and you can leave the candy outside. You don't have to like breathe on them. All right, so take and go around that edge with a little bit of glue again. And now the key is to see if my card will slide. There's going to be just enough room. So let's glue it in and then see if we can slide that card in. If we can't, we're just going to pretend that's not a pocket, and I'm going to have to let that dry for a second. So I'm going to stick all this ribbon in, and we're going to close the lid. I'm going to try to stick all this ribbon in and close the lid. It's not going to cooperate. Y'all, I love that you come to watch me and watch me fumble through some of my projects because it makes me happy that you still want to see, even though I really mess up sometimes. Okay, so I wanted to decorate around these edges. My ribbon must be holding it open because it's not. You have to cut 3/8 inch strips, so not quite a 1/2 inch. And a 12-inch piece will fit perfectly, 12 inch by 3/8 around this. Now it's just a tiny bit short for the top, so I had to cut a 1/3 strip. But I wanted to make sure this whole tin was covered, just because I thought it would be cute if it was completely covered. I'm looking for Mataran tape. There's Mataran tape. So I'm just going to go around this whole top edge. I'm going to start over here. And all you have to do is just go around and stick it on there. Peel that first piece back just a little bit, and then make sure your tear and tape goes all the way over that, just so you know you've got it all the way around. Then you can do the same for the bottom right away. Might as well get it all stuck down while we're here, while we've got it out, and then we can stick all of our designer series paper on there. Do the same, peel that back a little bit. Stick that down, and then we're going to peel that one off to begin with, and then we'll start with our designer series paper. I chose this little squiggly stripe because I think it's adorable. And then you can just, again, follow it all the way around. Just make sure you kind of pull it tight, just without dropping it. And then you can see it literally fits perfect. So then you've got the little bottom decorated. Now this top piece, we're gonna have to fill in a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a little piece, and I think I'm gonna stick it right here in the center. And then I'm just gonna butt this piece up against it. And when we come back around, we might need a little piece of tear and tape just to go over the edge a little bit, if that makes sense. And look, I didn't even cut it long enough. All right, let's cut another little piece. Here I thought I had a big enough piece, not quite. So this one is going to be a little piece together. So now I need to note to self, make sure you cut a long enough piece. All right, so before I stick that down, just cut another little piece of tear and tape and actually just stick it to your piece of designer series paper. Now that edge is sticking up just a little bit. Then once you peel that off, you can just stick that last piece right down. Now, unless they're really looking close, they're never gonna notice that it's a couple pieces stuck together there. But adorable, right? Hi Linda, how are you? Thanks for joining. Okay. Oh, my little, why did that bend? Oh, I must have had the ribbon, there it goes. The ribbon kind of stuck in there and made it. All right. Let's see if our little card will slide in our pocket. It's gonna go in, but it's not gonna be the best. But it's gonna work. So they may have a little trouble getting their card out, but their gift card will be in there and it won't fall out. So I think what I'll do is I'll tie this ribbon in a knot to start with. Then we can tie a cute little bow. It'll make it easier than trying to hold it down while it's inside that lid, because it's kind of hard to hold it down inside that lid. Then we'll cut our little ends off so we don't have any sticking out. How adorable is that? We could even add something. Let's do a little star. Let's put a little star there. Little decoration to finish it off. And now I didn't cover the bottom of the tin, which you can always cover the bottom if you want to. Throw a little star there. Perfect. Look at that. Pull your little album out. I'm going to move all my stuff out of the way so we can pull that little album out. Look at it one more time before we're done. Just use your little ribbon to pull it out. Untie your album because you got those two pieces, and then our album just folds open. They can add photos, they can add little lists, whatever they want to put in there. And your other side you have your little 2020 wish list tag and another little journaling page. tie it back up, goes right back in, and they have a little keepsake that they can keep to remember 2020 by. And we all know 2020 has been a crazy year, so maybe they don't want to remember 2020, but they're going to want to remember Christmas 2020 because it's going to be fantastic. Right? It has to be. We're all going to be with our families and enjoying our time together. Then just slide your little album back in there, close it up, and you have an adorable little gift. Love that. Super great. So fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed doing this with me today. Let's give it a couple of little embellishments. Where did I put my embellishments? I think our little trees on the front need some stars. Now you can add embellishments on the inside too if you like to. I'll probably go back and do that later. But let's just add some of these little stars from all the trimming embellishments because our little trees on the front need some stars. I thought maybe it would be really cute with a couple of sparkly red rhinestones on the front. Just wherever. You could actually decorate your trees with them if you want to. I'm just going to add a couple here and there just to add some sparkle. And then I thought even snowflakes might be cute on the inside because they're flat, so that would work. And then also holiday rhinestones are adorable. So I hope you enjoyed working on this with me today. I hope you buy some of these wonderful little tins and some designer series paper and make some adorable gifts for your family members and friends, co-workers, whoever you want to make one for. Thank you for joining me for Sunday stamping. I will see you again on Tuesday night for my Update Tuesday post, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.